Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Happy New Year. Welcome to a new YouTube video. Today, two main topics, which are going to be in the title of the video. Trinity unboxing happening right now. Start of the video, Trinity unboxing, let's go. Then you're going to see the Q&A over some PULLDAY footage, if I remember correctly. If it's not PULLDAY, I apologise, but yeah, it should be PULLDAY because that's what I remember. Anyway, let's get into the unboxing. What have I received from the Trinity new University of Iron drop? I received one package, a second package, third package. I'm joking, it's only the one package. Dangerous item, be careful. I'm talking about myself. Anyway. Now I might have only received one big package, but this is what I actually have received. Fuck yes, I love it. So let's start off. Firstly, let's admire the packaging. Matte, gloss, frosty, in XL because I'm fucking massive. Of course. Let's proceed. Nice, very nice. So this here is the, oh, some protective material there, love that, love that. This is the long sleeve top. It's probably gonna be hard to see because of the light in here, but that's black on black, long sleeve, waffle. Hopefully you can see this on camera. Yeah, waffle material. Beautiful, breathable. Yeah, haven't tried this on. I haven't tried any of these items on actually because I've seen the items, I haven't tried them on. Next up, we've got the stringer in large. Hopefully it's as tight as I want it. I do want it to fit very tight because I like people to see my nipples. Anyway, that is the dark grey, I believe, stringer. Hopefully you can see that. Gorgeous. This here is the second stringer, which is black on black. Again, with the small details at the back as well, I didn't show you that. Gonna be here a while, by the way, so hopefully you got your popcorn ready. This is the actual t-shirts now. Oh yeah, this is sick, this one. Good Lord. That's the back of the t-shirt. Sick. And the front, a nice centered logo. Black on black again. Gotta love the triple black, you know. And this feels very breathable, this material. This feels very nice. Different to the last tops. If you bought the Trinity Origin t-shirt, it is a little bit different to that. I don't really need to stand up for this, though. I can sit down for the rest. It's Christmas. Here's the white version. It was actually the same. It should be better to see what the design looks like. So there's the back of the t-shirt. And that is the front of the t-shirt. Beautiful. Yeah, definitely a different material on the shirts. Feel a lot nicer. And here we have, oh, here's the rag top. Now, for any of you meatheads or maybe shitfluencers who want to have like a sick pump cover where your chest sticks out the top, this is the one. Very raggy. As you can see there, there's the design. It's almost, it's a bit cropped, frayed at the bottom, open neck, cold. There's only one colour of this, which is black. I think there might be more coming out, I don't know. Now, these are the items which I've been most looking forward to. The shorts. I've been dying for some new shorts. And as I'm a leg day advocate, yeah. Oh, yes. again, waffle. Logo there. And class of 2025 on the back pocket area. I've got that in grey. And I believe I've also got it in black, which I do. So there we go, black on black again. It's hard to see the black on black in this light. Lastly, I think this is another long sleeve, if I'm not mistaken. Oh yeah, there you go. And you can see that long sleeve in action there with the same details as the vest. I knew. Yeah. Anyway, I'm not going to try it on now because that's for you to look at the rest of my content when I do start wearing this stuff and see it in better detail there. So if you want to cop this, okay, I believe it's going to be released on the 30th or 31st of May. I haven't got a calendar in front of me. Be there or be square. Use code LANK10 at checkout to save yourself some money. If you don't save yourself some money, you're a donut. Enjoy the rest of your day. On to the Q&A we go. See ya. Welcome to the Q&A segment of this video. You should have already seen the Trinity unboxing. So as you can see here, we are now wearing the INU, the University of Iron t-shirt. I'm also wearing the shorts too because they are hella comfy until I soil them in my leg sessions. But in the background, you're going to be seeing some pull day footage. This Q&A might just run over the Q&A footage. Who knows? So if it does, the pull day footage does run out, then I apologise. You'll have to just sit here and watch me waffling into this camera. So I've got a bunch of questions, which is quite a funny story, to be honest. I put a story up asking for questions for this video, and I had one question. And because I'm not a dickhead, and I'm not going to sit there and ask and, you know, answer questions which nobody's asked me, like some people do, I outed everybody on my story and said, listen, ask me some questions. And after that response, I got a million questions. So I've picked out a good handful. Some I think where I've already covered before, or it's quite general, or it's a bit too personal. So I've picked out quite a good number to run through. So these are going to be going through in like no particular order. I'm not going to mention names because I don't need to, and you know what question you asked anyway. So if you're watching this video and you asked me a question and you wanted a shout out, you're in the wrong place. Plus, if you wanted a shout out, I've got 41 subscribers at the moment on my YouTube channel, and I get about 5 likes a video. So really, you're gaining no benefit from me shouting you out anyway. But I appreciate the questions. Let's get started. Enjoy the pull day footage and enjoy me waffling. So the first question is, favourite physique competing now and favourite physique of all time? My favourite physique that is competing at this moment in time is Niall Darwin. He's going to do very good work this year, I can see. And my favourite physique of all time. To be honest, if we're saying like all time favourite physiques, I'm not going to go generic here. But, you know, like Franco Colombo, Mike Mensa, very cool physiques. There's another guy as well. What was his name? I feel like it was Mike. It's not Mike. No, it wasn't Mike. It was because I said Mike Mensa. I don't know. Anyway, moving on to the next question because I can't spend hours on these questions. Next question is, how much of a difference do you think it would make to your physique if you were a full-time coach? And that is a very, very good question. It's tough because, I mean, we're talking marginal gains here. I don't think it would make a drastic difference. But probably being able to be a full-time coach and being able to maybe walk the walk more, have more breathing room per se. Because let's be honest, I wouldn't be a super busy full-time coach. I'd, be very middle tier, maybe. It would allow me to not train. So I train at 5 a.m. at the moment, which, for me and my lifestyle at this moment in time is fantastic. It allows me to box my gym sessions off and do stuff like this, like record content and be productive in the evenings and then chill out. Whereas I was actually running out of that time in the evenings and my mornings were kind of wasted. So I'm utilising my time better now in this moment. But if I was a full-time coach, it would allow me to train at a time when where the gym is still quiet, the roads are still relatively quiet, and I'd still be able to get food in prior to my workouts. Because at the moment I'm training basically fasted, which, although actually it's a myth, it doesn't really affect your training that much in your head psychologically. And also, I guess, if you want to talk about diet and glycogen stores and all that, yes, I guess it would have a benefit to have more food in you. And I have recently actually done a session with more food in me, and there is a bit of a difference. But we're talking marginal gains, like I'm saying maybe 10% more load, maybe. And either way, in the morning sessions, I still get adequate stimulus. So, again, we're talking marginal gains. Another thing I guess would be sleep. So I'd have more hours through the day. I'd probably get my work boxed off sooner. I'd have gym boxed off sooner, and therefore I'm going to sleep because that's one thing I do struggle with, is trying to cram everything in and still get enough sleep, which I definitely is my sacrifice. Probably better sleep. I get really good quality, but longer period of time. So better sleep, better optimal training, maybe better meal timing, probably not. I'm pretty routine in my food. So if you can stack them two sort of things together, we're talking marginal gains, but instead it would make a difference to my physique. Probably maybe less stress, which would have another effect on my physique too. So hopefully that answers the question. I don't know. Next question. Training splits and what you prefer to do. I've actually covered this before. I don't know if I covered it in a reel or if I covered it in an informative video or on a story. Maybe a story I covered it in actually ages ago. My preference for me and quite a few clients is a 2-on, 1-off split. Training 2 days, resting 2 days, resting 2 days, resting. For me, that worked really well. And the reason why is because 3 days back to back is really good. But I do find personally on that third day, I can lose a little bit of drive and a little bit of motivation. Not from fatigue, not from anything, but just from stimulation. Like, I like to look forward to my gym sessions. And sometimes when you do 3 days back to back, you've had some slogs at work. The deeper you get into the off season, sometimes that third day becomes a bit of a struggle. Now with 2 days and a break, 2 days and a break, firstly, every week's a little bit different. Now, I also do crave organisation, so that kind of does counteract that a little bit because your split will be rotating all the time. You'll be doing different things on different days each week, but it worked really well for me. Basically, it allows you to as well get a bit more rest per week, which to me is not necessarily a bad thing. If you train hard enough, I think having a rest every 3 days can provide you with massive benefits in terms of longevity within the off season without having to deload or pull back, or and also possibly mitigating risk of injury from overtraining. These are all ifs, buts, maybes, possibilities. This is not certains and facts. This is my personal preference, and when I've done it with clients, it's worked really well. In terms of training splits, this is going to blow your mind. Everything works. Everything works. right? If I was to train chest every 3 days, right, and then I'd train back and not train legs, for example, right, it works. Your chest would blow up, your back would probably blow up, but you wouldn't grow anything in your legs. If I trained arms every single day, every training I did, my arms would blow up. If I trained rear delts every day, my rear delts would probably blow up. Obviously, we're talking within reason here in terms of volume and recovery, etc., right? Everything works. So in terms of training splits, I'm not going to say, right, do full body is the best, upper lower is the best, push-pull legs is best, whatever. It's specific to you. Now, if you're a newbie in the gym, if you're quite new to the gym, you just got into it and you need muscle everywhere and you want muscle everywhere, then you're going to want to train every muscle as much as you possibly can and probably on quite a balanced scale. Whereas for me, for example, after last year, my legs were the most dominant feature with my prep. As a result, I did specialization blocks, which was predominantly upper body focused. Why? Because I need a upper body. So, as a result, my upper body has now grown to a better degree, and here I am, with a more balanced physique. So training splits don't matter. It's specific to you and what you need, whether you've got injuries or you need to, again, bring up certain areas. Okay? Hope that makes sense. Anyway, moving on. So, funny question. Never vape again or never take assistance again? I'll probably never vape again. And that sounds really, really like, whoa, like, okay. But for me, vape is, it sounds really funny. None of these things are essential. Neither of them are essential. But for me, within what I want to do with my career, taking assistance is one of them things to help educate me as well as progress my physique, to potentially better my life within the industry that I'm in. And that sounds a bit backwards. Whereas vaping does nothing for me besides giving me a flavour hit and nicotine. Now, you didn't say cigarettes. I would, vaping isn't good for you. Let's just be honest. It's really not. It's not going to get you anywhere in life. It's not going to give you any benefits. And really, neither is assistance. But assistance can, if you're using it within yourself correctly, it can get you to places in terms of a career within bodybuilding, knowledge, education within coaching, assisted athletes, for example. So that's the way I'm looking at it. Because I can come off assistance and probably be okay. Vape, it does nothing for me. Come off, stay on. Staying on it is just gonna probably kill me sooner. That was a lot of waffle for a very short question. I probably could have just said never vape again. But I feel like I want to explain things in this. I've probably already run out of PULLDAY clips at this point. So, great question. What influences the Lanx drip? A lot of trial and error, I think, is one thing. I've got so many clothes that I bought and thrown out because I just don't like it after a year or so of wearing it. There's a few people in mind, right? I like to be a bit different, so I try and find my own style. A lot of it is vintage. I like to buy vintage stuff which has maybe already been worn, but more vintage style. But I guess people I take inspiration from is, I'd say, Christian, my coach, because he just wears goofy stuff all the time. Tim, Physique Pro. Christian's basically brother. The guy that did this tattoo, his name's Liam Robinson. You can find him on Instagram, Lim Reaper. Very drippy guy. I've followed him for years, absolutely years. When he used to be a bodybuilder, now he's quit and now he's a tattoo artist. His drip has always been immense. So I follow his drip. I've taken massive influence from. And then I don't really know, to be honest. After that, there are a few names that come to my head, but that's about it. Basically, oversized, baggy, some streetwear, as in, what's it called? Hypewear? I don't fucking know. And just cool t-shirts, really. And then anything else cool I find. Rings, jewellery, beanies, which, yeah, I didn't even mention, that's made a return, hasn't it? The beanies made a return, which is great. Next question. Diet. As in, I guess, what is my diet? So 5 meals a day. I'm not going to tell you grams because I don't need to. I don't think I just can't be asked, to be honest. I have sourdough, avocado, bacon medallions, eggs, and fruits in the morning. Meal 2 is rice, beef, veg, fruit. Meal 3 is cereal, almond milk, whey, fruit. Meal 4 is rice, chicken, veg, fruit. Meal 5 is oats, banana, fruit, whey, dark chocolate. Done. Very bodybuilder. Pretty much, it's probably the same diet as everyone else in the industry, to be honest. Give or take cream of rice, which I hate. Baby food. Next question. How do you go about setting up your meal prep, and how often do you prep meals? So at the moment, I'm actually doing it on a daily basis because I can. I do prep in advance for days I go into the office for my job. But what I recommend clients to do is to prep. I do a twice per week prep, which is on a Sunday, because it's your last day before you start the working week. So you can prep from Sunday to Wednesday or Sunday to Thursday. And then you prep again midweek, so Wednesday, Thursday, up till Sunday. If you're in the off season, I say to my clients, prep 3 and 3. So it takes you to Saturday. And then you have that Saturday, you can either have an off plan and move your food to Sunday, or vice versa. So, sorry, I dropped my vape. So, yeah. So that's the meal prepping. How do you go about setting up meal prep? I guess that's the second part of the question. Setting up meal prep, I don't know what you mean by that, but what I'm going to answer it with is cooking the meals that need to be cooked. So chicken, beef, for example, rice, they're the ones I prep. Everything else, I don't need to prep. In regards to other things like cereal and stuff, you can prep them that easy. You can prep the whole week because it's dry. You just prep containers full of cereal if you want to really do that. You can get down to as nitty gritty as you want to. At the moment, I'm just cooking it daily. So I have a rice cooker. So in the morning, I put my rice in, and I just cook the meat on the fly through the day. If I'm in the office, I'll do it the night before, because I only have one meal in work at the office. So that's my meal too. So I will cook the meat the night before, container, fridge, in meal prep bag, done for work, as well as some other meals as well, which are not the beef meal or rice meal. So I do that when I go back home. Next question. What's the biggest challenge you've overcome in terms of bodybuilding? That's a difficult question, I would say. I don't really know. Probably, I'll be honest, I guess there's two for this. The first one is very personal, and that's my skin. I've always thought with my acne, my bad skin, that I'd never be able to compete. And that was at a young age. My skin's actually not the best right now. But over the years, I've learned to understand that I'm always going to have dog shit skin. Like, I have to go through medication. I'm still trying to solve the root cause issue. And after this prep, I'm going to be going down a different route to actually try and enable myself to find the root cause. So getting over my skin issues was a main thing. It was a massive confidence factor of mine when I was younger, when I was about 14, when I first got it, all over my body. So that's probably the biggest thing. The second thing was after my first competing season, and pretty much coming last in every one of my shows. Like, I did 2 shows, didn't place in either. Well, my second show I technically placed. I came third, but that's because it was a class of 3, and I got smoked. So if there's more people, I would have smoked even more. On my first show, I didn't place. I was a class of, I think it was 10. And I got smoked again. I don't even know where I placed, maybe 6th. And I don't know, because in that season, I was so confident. Like, I was probably a cocksure, probably way too confident. And that really humbled me, which was a good thing. And it took me a while to sort of get over that. But then I rectified myself by doing a 2-year off season, going into classic physique, and the change was massive. I came 2nd place and 4th place, which seems like, oh, not massive upgrades, but I placed and did very well at my first show. And the second show was a bigger class, probably a better show. And 4th, maybe getting nipped to the bud at 3rd. I don't know. That's what I got told on the day. But that's not for me to argue that. That's what other people see of me. And I thought I did very well. And that was very fulfilling. So I lacked belief in myself after that first prep. Because I thought I was just shit. And I proved people, well, sorry, didn't prove people, I proved myself wrong. So yeah, that's more waffle for you. Enjoy. I've got so many more questions. Crazy. Let's try and speed run through some of these. So, you can be best at anything in the world. What would it be? Basketball. I could say football, but basketball I think is just sick. Plus, you'd be a giant. You'd be tall. And you'll probably be packing some heat downstairs as well, because you're a tall bastard. So, anyway. 5-car garage, money isn't an issue. This is a long question, so I'm going to have to be really quick on this one. Oh, fucking hell. GT3 RS, Porsche GT3 RS. Rolls-Royce Bentayga. That's my SUV choice. I guess like maybe like hypercar. A Koenigsegg. Maybe like Jesco. Yeah, a Jesco. Or a Gera maybe. I really like the Jesco. I need like an old car now. Fuck's sake. An old car, think. Okay, maybe I should just go for like a mid-tier car, like, I say mid-tier. I'm going to do BMW M2 Comp, because that's one of my cars I've always wanted. In orange. Very specific. Oh, and what else? Like a proper old... God, this is one of the hardest questions I've had, ever. Nah, fuck it. Jap car. R34 GTR Skyline Nismo. That's what we're doing. Okay, cool. Next question. How many clients you got on stage this year? At the moment, 3. At the moment. Could be more. United versus Spurs prediction. Now this is going to be hilarious, because this is the day, 2 days before the United and Spurs game. This is going out on this Sunday. As I was saying, this is going out this Sunday, which is after the game. I personally think United will win. I don't know the score. I just think United will win. I think we bring it in cup finals. I believe the squad should be stronger. But who knows? So, great question. Will 750 milligrams of Lank get deployed for your own showing? Or is that down to Christian? Unfortunately, mate, that's down to Christian. No 1 gram of Lank getting deployed. But for my clients, the Lank always gets deployed. How many more questions we got? I think we got 3 more questions. What's your show plans this year, mate? I've currently got 2 shows. Well, from this video going up, I'll be 16 weeks out. So you can do your working out on that. I could just say what shows I'm doing, to be honest with you. I don't think it makes... No one's going to be, like, gasping that I'm doing these shows. I'm doing PCA Manchester and PCA Central. So there you go. At the moment, it might be more. So keep your eyes peeled. What's something you learned from your last prep that you're bringing to this one? Oof. I don't even know. Exfoliate better, so I don't get skin rash when I shave. I don't know. To be honest, I feel like I did prep last year very well. I would say maybe... I mean, my sessions towards the end definitely got a bit more lackluster. So maybe try and get some influence from people around me to really try and just lock in and knuckle down and really try within my sessions. But I think towards the end I definitely did like have a bit of lag behind me. And yeah, it didn't help with session performance towards the end of my prep last year, which I don't think it did any damage really. As a natural, you will lose some muscle, but, or not necessarily, by the way, but you're more likely to lose muscle. This year I'm assisted, so it's a little bit different, and there's going to be more things going in which are going to potentially aid me. We'll just see. I'm playing different. I'm playing with different cards this year, so it's more like Christine needs to help me out with that. Last question. What's your day job out of interest? I can't go into specifics, unfortunately, but I work for a bank, and that is it. There we have it. That is the Q&A ended. Again, thank you very much for all of the questions. I really do appreciate it. If I put another box in my story, make sure you ask a question. Otherwise, I'll out you again. Remember, I can see everyone who's viewed the story. If you're not asking me a question, shame on you. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Pull day, Q&A, Trinity unboxing. And by the time this video is live, this stuff will be live, I believe, online. I was going to say in-store then, not in-store. But if you're at the PCA universe, you might have copped some. So if you see me at the stand, or if you saw me at the stand, thank you. If you said hi, thank you. Because this is so big, it's going to get posted after the... Anyway. It'll be live on the website. Use code LANK10 at checkout to save yourself some money, of course, as always. In a bit. Take care. I'll speak to you soon.
Still in my solo, fuck a PR campaign, I'll shoot up your hood for promo. Bad beat, do what you do with a stick. Everything bouncing,